Hello, you guys, and welcome. Let's get started on this new episode of The Bachelorette. That's week 2, season 20, charities season. This season's already looking so good, you guys, and it's only the second episode. So, Charity's first one-on-one date is with Aaron B. He was one of the ones that I definitely knew from last week that was going to make it far. They went on this date, they were sitting under the Hollywood sign. Turns out Aaron's parents have been together for so long, and so have Charity's. Charity's have been together for 48 years. So just having that positive example of marriage in their lives, I feel is so good. Then Charity takes him up to the mountains, and they go to the actual Hollywood sign, like all up and close, like they're right in front of it. And it was so special. They seemed very comfortable with each other. I mean, the body language and all, it was giving. They kiss, and it was very nice. Then it's later on the date. It's nighttime, and they're at this very nice place. They sit down and continue to talk about family, and he opens up about his journey in college and having to seek therapy. He's being very open, breaking those walls, being vulnerable, and letting Charity see that side of him. He also asks her some questions, when one of them was, how was it going through everything with Zach in that season? And she says that it helped her grow and love herself. It really prepared her for this moment. Back in the mansion, all the guys are sitting around a big couch, and the date card arrives. Tanner, Adrian, John, Caleb A, Caleb B, Caleb K, Xavier, James, Sean, and Brayden are selected. I will say Brayden does keep coming across a little cocky, so I was just like, we'll see what happens. But going back to the date, she takes him inside of a theater in that place that they're at, and there's a singer performing. I feel like this was expected in every Bachelor or Bachelorette. There's always going to be some singer that we don't know singing. And they begin to dance, and they just can't stop smiling. And she gives him the date rose. I know this is too soon, but if Charity doesn't pick him, I'm going to lose it. Okay, it's another day, and it's time for the group date. She's excited. They're at the beach. And they start out by playing some fun games, playing some football, building some sandcastles, and then Jesse comes over and says that they're going to be doing a little competition, dodgeball, and they're going to be playing with nothing on but some neon underwear. This is another reminder for me to never go on The Bachelorette, because I ain't doing all that. I'm not going to go nude on the beach. No. But they begin their sport. They have a sport newscaster there and a group of fans watching. The ones who did great playing were Xavier. He pretty much single-handedly won for his team on the first game. But then Caleb, for the other team, which was the green team, he won that second game. And then there was 2 more games, but Xavier's team, which was the pink team, won. But Charity does choose an MVP from the losing team who can join them on the after date, which was Adrian. But some people felt that was a little bit unfair because they think that it should have been Caleb. But anyway, it's time for the after party, time for the guys to spend time with her. She goes with Brayden, Mr. First Impression Rose. He still seems pretty confident. Charity seems to reciprocate the energy. He says he definitely has a crush on her, and they're both blushing, so they kiss. Then she talks to John, tells him that he did really good playing dodgeball, and she kisses him as well. She must have picked that up from Zach's season. Like, I guess they said to themselves, just kiss all the contestants, because she's been doing that. The guys are then talking, and Brayden says he wishes he would have gotten the first one-on-one instead of the group date. And the men are saying, do you really think that would be fair to get the first impression rose and to get the one-on-one? And then the MVP that was chosen, Adrian, says something a little shady. And Brayden says, he claps back and says, well, to be honest, man, I think that Caleb should have been the one who was picked MVP. And that triggers Adrian, of course. I mean, that wouldn't trigger anyone, right? Then Adrian goes to talk with Charity alone. He has a daughter, so he tells Charity about it and that it was hard to leave her to come here and that it's been hard because for him this is not a vacation and he's not treating it as one. That's a subliminal message. and he's implying that there's others here that are just simply on spring break, on vacation, and that makes her worry. When Charity goes with the group, she says, I hope that no one is here treating this as a spring break because I'm here for a purpose, and I hope you're here for that purpose as well. And she continues to give the group date rose to John. The other guys are now not only upset for not getting the rose, but also for what Charity said about the spring break. And after she leaves, Adrian continues to speak in subliminals, kind of throwing shade at Brayden, so I knew that one of them was going to try to make each other the bad guy. But moving along to a new day, Charity is greeted by Racheal and Gabby. We still have to be seeing them because there's going to be another group date. Charity doesn't know what they're doing. Gabby and Racheal have the plan. So what they do is that they have Charity pick a guy, and with that guy, they're going to break the longest kissing record in Bachelor Nation history. Currently, the record was for Sean at 3 minutes and 27 seconds. They begin to ask the men some questions. And by the way, they're on a huge stage and there's a huge audience watching them. Some questions about kissing, intimacy. Then they talk about what's been their best kiss, their worst kiss. They have to make out with their hand or with a microphone. It was weird, but let me tell y'all, this man Joey was on a mission. He couldn't get his eyes off of Charity. Even Racheal noticed, and he did some nice answers, so he won. They officially broke the record for the longest kiss in Bachelor Nation, and they actually went over a whole minute, so the total was 4 minutes and 25 seconds, and the poor guys had to watch. On top of that, Joey got a one-on-one, so it wasn't really a group date after all. It became a one-on-one for Joey. The guys then have to go back home, and they tell the rest of the guys what happened. And Brayden, he's getting on my nerves a little bit. He sort of starts to bash the guys and says, how are you guys just okay standing there and watching her make out with a guy? And Adrian says, what did you want them to do? To throw a fit? Which, he's right. What were they supposed to do? But going back to the date, I think Charity made the right decision because of how creative he was with his answers. And they kiss a little bit more. He shares about his family. His parents were divorced. But he says that he felt love from both of his parents because this divorce was a little different. It was because his dad came out of the closet. So, yeah. And she shares too about her family and gives him the rose. The next day, the guys are hanging out. The rose ceremony is going to be later that night. Brayden is still acting up. He says he wants to talk to Charity about what happened with the kiss, and if he doesn't like what he hears, he is going to leave. Which that attitude in and of itself is calm down, sir. Then Jessie comes over to say to them there will be no cocktail party tonight. Instead, there's going to be a big barbecue here at the house. So she arrives and they begin having a cookout and whatever. And she talks to one guy named Dodon, or Dotun, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. But he tells her that he wishes he would have been on some dates to really open up. So he's going to take the opportunity and do it right there. He shows her his resident alien card, that's what it's called, when he was a child. And it means a lot to him because of what it represents. And honestly, I admire him to have been an immigrant and to have come as far as he has. He kisses her and then she hangs out with some other men. Very nice. Okay, let's get to this chat. Brayden and Charity, he tells her that he doubted her character and he was ready to run away when he heard that she had kissed that other guy. But I think Charity just sees the best in people, so she takes the conversation the opposite way. She takes it as aw, he's just being honest. So it actually ended up being pretty good. But next up is Adrian. And again, Adrian brings up the spring vacation thing. He apologizes for bringing it up, but Charity says, no, I appreciate you brought it up, but I also wanted to ask you because you mentioned something about immaturity. What do you mean? So he basically gossips about Brayden and his reaction to the night before when the guys came back from the kiss, and he's like, he was saying this, he was saying that, he said that you were classless, and she was taken aback. Her mood completely changed. I gotta say, I get it's a show, but anytime I see the Bachelorette and one of the guys goes and runs up to her to tattle on another guy, I don't know, it kind of gives me little B vibes. But moving along, Jesse says Charity left due to some unsettling information, so they won't see her until the rose ceremony. They're all saying, like, what happened? So Adrian says, you know what, I let her know about last night. And most of the guys agree with me. They didn't think that was cool. They're saying, why are you talking to her about other people? And Brayden gets upset. I mean, rightfully so, right? And so where the other guys, Brayden and Adrian, go at it for a little bit. It is then the rose ceremony. Charity arrives. She looked very somber. All the guys are being called. All of them except Adrian and Brayden. They're patiently waiting. And she gives Adrian a rose. And then the final rose on that table went to Brayden. I knew that would happen. I had a feeling she wasn't going to send him home just yet. And he was really relieved. Like, he was like almost out of breath. And he was really happy about that. But now it looks like maybe it's war between these two. And Brayden has a point, though, because why is Adrian... And Adrian looks like, don't get me wrong, he looks like a good man. Maybe he has something interesting. Charity might find him attractive. So why not talk about your family or about yourself? Why waste time talking about someone else? But don't get me wrong, I do think Brayden is a little... Let's just say he's not for Charity. I'll just leave it like that, and that'll tell you what I mean. But yeah, this episode was really good. A lot of things happened. It felt really long, but like in a good way. And next week, some crazy stuff is going to happen. And I think it will probably involve Brayden once again. So I can't wait to see that. But what were your thoughts about this episode and about what happened with Adrian and Brayden? And just anything you want to tell me, let me know in the comments. Guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great one. Bye.